Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Moon, and today we're going to be continuing, well, not continuing, guys. We're starting Tales of Saleana, or Saleana, or however you pronounce it. So I think you can tell what kind of game this is just by looking at it, so we're going to jump right into it. I like how there's a little potion on the cursor. It really sets the mood. Day 0. Prologue. Tradition. Custom beliefs that are passed down from generations to generations. Sometimes they are not so bad, but sometimes they are just plain annoying. For example, the one that says every vampire must go on to a lone human hunt when they reach 20 years old. All my relatives are excited as hell about this so-called opportunity to brag about their skills. How quick they are, how strong they are, how smart they are. There are even ridiculous achievements such as drink a virgin's blood and excitement rush. In both cases, the blood of a victim is considered first class. Among all those shenanigans, I always stand out as the odd one. Why? You're about to find out. Here I am, sitting in my grandparents' living room listening to my grandma's 2-hour-long speech about that exact topic. And may I say, my grandma is that one hot chick. And it's not going well at all. So, as I have been saying, Grandma finally raises her tone up 1 octave and claps her favorite fan in her left palm. Finally, the sign of her main argument. Saleana, you are already 20. In fact, it's been 2 months, 1 week, and 3 days since your 20th birthday, and you haven't started your lone human hunting yet. Grandma, I hunt rabbits all the time. Alone, even. A rabbit and a human are 2 different things. Only you grow up and stop this nonsense about not drinking human blood. I was being very patient with you, but it seems you have taken advantage of your young lady. No more, I say. No more. I resist the urge to commend on my own patience toward her in the subject. How many times did I tell her that I will not take part in that ridiculous, outdated ritual that proves nothing? And Grandma, I already said for the past 2 months, 1 week and 2 days, and all the years before, that I won't do it. That's not something you can just say that you won't do. It's a vampire's duty, a vampire's honor, a vampire's pride. Not to mention you have to drink all that dirt from their furs, utterly unhygienic. She hits my head with the fan at the last sentence, a peck for her no doubt, but to me it feels like she just bangs my head to the wall. Truth vampire strength is no joke, that's for sure. Grandma, that hurts a lot. It wouldn't hurt at all if you had been drinking human blood. Don't you see? You're weaker and shorter than all vampires that we know. What do they call it? Ah, yes, malnutrition. Malnutrition in this day and age. Do you know how shameful it was to hear them talk about us like that during our gathering? We are one of the oldest vampire families alive, Celine. Our honor is on the line here. My name is Saleana, Grandma. Such typical anticlimax. Grandma always forgets my name at the most important part, one of her special quirks, I dare say. And I always said that you should have been named Celine. What kind of name is Saleana anyway? The name of your only great-granddaughter, perhaps? But hey, I gave up on that topic a long time ago. However, the bigger problem here is what I should do now. Retreating to my room since promising at first, but Grandma's attitude during her whole talk, she won't let me escape this time. Return the arguments? Maybe not. I still remember the one time that I fainted from debating with Grandma for hours. I'm home. That voice. It's Grandpa. My heart jumps with joy. Finally, Grandpa is home. Now he'll be able to rescue me. Or so I think. Half an hour later, the situation doesn't improve one bit. Now both Grandpa and I are stuck listening to what Grandma has to say. Just to look at his face, now twisting in secret agony. I know that his headaches are coming back. Still, he remains calm. When Grandma begins to steer the topic towards my name, he interrupts her, gently but decisively. Now, Amara, why don't you sit down and relax? Here, a snack for you. He pulls out 2 vials of blood from his chest pocket and gives one to Grandma. She furrows her brows, apparently wanting to protest against the obvious bribe, but in the end she takes one and sits down next to him. And this is yours, Saleana. He gives me the other vial, a short brown fur still stuck on the side of its neck. A rabbit, no doubt. For all of his excellencies, Grandpa's few weaknesses includes extracting animal blood. He always leaves evidence somewhere. You spoil her too much, Claude. Grandma looks at him with a reproachful glance, but she says nothing else. We remained silent for a few minutes while I suck on the blood. Grandma had mixed hers with a glass of wine and is now enjoying it with a smile. Grandpa himself opens his pickled garlic jar and pops one of them in his mouth. The look on Grandma's face is plenty, but he ignores it beautifully. Alas, it's him who breaks a piece. Now, Saleana, I know you dislike human hunting and drinking your blood, for good reasons as well. He treads carefully, selecting words with great care. However, the way you are now, we are very worried. Humans might not need meat to live healthily, but it's not the same for us vampires. You know yourself best, Saleana. You faint easily and can't stand the sun for too long. You also have shorter satisfaction, you get hungry easily. Remember the time when we were away and you were very hungry? It's not that I remembered much of what happened, but according to my grandparents, they found me. There's a lot of blood and corpses splattered around. No human was harmed, thankfully, but it made the situation more urgent. After that, they never left me alone again. Until now, you have been living with little of what we brought back and what you found, but it clearly isn't enough. You need human blood to actually survive, Saleana. Now, we are still able to take care of you, but we can't stay with you forever. You still need to look after yourself when the time comes. With each word said, he grows more and more despondent. Even Grandma's expression has become dejected, although she quickly hides it by downing her wine in one go. A vague realization of inevitable loneliness pricks my heart as if it was wrapped by a crown of thorns. Won't you do this for us just once? I guess I can try. But I had never done it. What was I supposed to do? Secrecy. You mustn't reveal who you are to them. Yes, and that's all. Wait, I thought there would be some kind of hidden techniques? There is none. What? But Grandma? All and each of us do this differently. The tradition is supposed to be a test of your skills, and that's why you have every right to brag after your success. It's not like we were taught any more than you. It's about trials and failures. And if you've been listening to me like you claimed, then you wouldn't have any troubles understanding it. And she gives me a scornful look as a bonus. Well, what do I know? She might have said that before. Then if you don't have any more questions, you can start tomorrow. But tomorrow is too soon. Nonsense. After you delayed for so long, there's no such thing as too soon. But, what if I'm found out? Where should I hide? How will I find you two? The prospect of hiding and running all by myself frightens me. After all, I had experienced that dreadful feeling before. My grandparents exchange several glances as they see the miserable face I'm wearing, and alas, Grandpa answers, firm and calm as ever. Then just run back to us, and we will escape this place at once. What? Are you sure? It's such a wild idea to say we can run away as easy as that. After all, this place has been their home since a long, long time ago. Grandpa and Grandma look at each other, then look at me. Saleana, I think you're missing one important point. We are here to support you, not to abandon you. You are a family after all. I'm digging this blush thing she has going on too. Grandma reaches out to hold me in her arms. A wave of emotion sweeps over me as her gentle gesture touches the deepest corner of my heart. Grandma rarely expresses her love, and it almost brings a tear to my eye knowing how much they will do for me. That said, I'm sure you will succeed, my dear. These slight grammar mistakes are kind of throwing me off. The time limit for this trial is 5 days, but you can always return sooner than that. As long as you're able to drink from one person, you will pass. Any humans? You should stay away from the sick, the old, and the young. Humans are sensitive when it comes to those people. The rest is fine as far as we know. Alright, I will go tomorrow. Good night, Grandpa. Good night, Grandma. Bidding my grandparents good night and receiving a kiss from each of them, I go back to my room. Still don't have a clue what to do. Extremely skeptical as I am about this whole affair, it's not like I have another choice. Perhaps I should read through all my novels again. They are written by humans about humans after all. There ought to be something I can use. But after skimming through my whole collection, I'm hit with a hard truth that they don't offer much help in the situation. Oh, forget it. Who cares about techniques? I'm going to make up something myself. Throwing the fluffy warm blanket upon myself, I close my eyes, trying to lull myself to sleep. Tomorrow is going to be long and hard. Meanwhile, I can't believe that sort of thing worked. Why, honey, sometimes pushing people just doesn't work. Nudging them in the right direction does. But telling me to hug her and tell her all those sorts of cheesy things. And what was that about us not being around for long? You scared the hell out of her with that line. A little manipulation here and there works just as well, my dear. Like when you tricked me into accepting your proposal. Haha, who knows? You're sharp, Amara, and that sort of thing wouldn't work for you. His chuckle irritates her. Why does she always feel like she's one step behind him? It's a frustrating feeling. Well, why now? Why don't you nudge her sooner? It wasn't the right time then. This time, though, she will be alright. He holds her hands up tight, comforting her with a kiss on her forehead instead, and with that they go to bed. Alright. So because of oh crap, I'm trying to get this going. Wow, that's new. That's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice feature. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop it here so that we can do everything in like defined sections, since that was the prologue. We'll do day 1 in the next one. If you liked this, go ahead and leave a like. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for content on ultimate games, other games, walkthroughs, and reviews. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.